This video I'm about to do is going to have some content that will contain material that may be harmful, it may be traumatizing to some viewers. You must be 18 years of age or older to witness the content on this platform, as we're going to talk about the situation out in Memphis, Tennessee, where Tyree Nichols was brutally murdered at the hands of the police. Now, these 5 police officers have been charged in connection with the murder of Tyree Nichols. And I will not play the video due to YouTube's rules and regulations regarding their little thing where you can't really show anything that might be deemed violent or traumatizing. So I'm not going to play the video. But what I will do is provide commentary for what I saw happen. Now, clearly, these police officers were in the wrong. They were definitely in the wrong. And what they did is a microcosm of the culture that is established within these police departments. And with my service in the military and me knowing a few police officers in my day, their conduct was unacceptable. I mean, what justified the police going in and murdering this man on a traffic stop? Y'all said it was over a reckless driving incident, and that led to Tyree Nichols now being murdered over a traffic stop. Reckless driving led to Tyree Nichols being murdered. Because see, in these police departments, right, a lot of these police departments tend to have a code to where, hey, we got to stick together in this. You can't be the person that dimes us out whenever something goes wrong. That's the kind of stuff that they perpetuate in these police departments. You mean to tell me all 5 of you guys, not one of y'all had the wherewithal, not one of you guys had the inkling to say that, oh man, what we're doing is wrong here, we need to stop? None of you guys use your training to stop what was going on. All 5 of you motherfuckers need to burn for this shit. All 5 of you. I don't give a fuck. What's up, Nathan? I don't give a flying fuck. Because all 5 of you jackasses killed this man for no reason at all. He should be alive today. Now, what do we know about these 5 idiots? What do we know? Now, 2 of the 5 former police officers arrested for the killing of 29-year-old Tyree Nichols have been on the job for a couple of years, and the others no more than 6 years. And some of the officers have been part of the new anti-violence unit called Scorpion, which stands for Street Crimes Operation to Restore Our Peace in Our Neighborhoods. Well, unfortunately for Tyree Nichols, he definitely got hit with a poisonous scorpion. Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, Emmett Martin III, Desmond Mills Jr., and Justice Smith were fired on January 20th after an administrative investigation found they had violated department policy on the use of force. Yeah, because it was clearly excessive. They were charged Thursday with second-degree murder, 2 counts of official misconduct, 2 counts of aggravated kidnapping, 1 count of official oppression, and 1 count of aggravated assault. Now, this incident happened on January 7th. Nichols was hospitalized in critical condition and died 3 days later. Now, what do we know about these individuals? So, Demetrius Haley, he's 30 years old. Demetrius Haley is the guy on the far left. That's Demetrius Haley. He worked as a corrections officer for the Shelby County Corrections Department before joining the Memphis Police Department in August 2020. A 2016 lawsuit that was filed in the U.S. District Court of Western Tennessee, Haley was accused of taking part in a beating of an inmate called Darius Sledge some 8 years ago. Sledge and Haley and another officer punched the man in the face, and a third slammed his face into the sink, face first. The suit was tossed in 2018 after a judge ruled that Sledge had not properly served one of the defendants with a summons. Sledge, who filed the suit without the help of a lawyer, said he was in federal custody at the time and was unable to complete all the paperwork. So basically, Demetrius Haley got off on a technicality. Because see, when you have a reputation of excessive force and you're able to use technicalities to get off instead of being held accountable, then you're only emboldened to continue your actions. Because see, this is an uncomfortable conversation because we're calling out our black folks that are working in these police departments, that are working anywhere. Because it's not just for the police departments. If you're doing security at a corrections facility, if you are in the military working at a correctional facility, this applies to you too. Because see, this is what we call it our own. We're not just going to sit in the background and, oh, well, just because there's a whole bunch of black police officers committing a black man, then we're going to sit up here and remain silent. No, we're not going to give these white supremacists out here no more ammunition than they already got. Because at the end of the day, right is right and wrong is wrong. And what these guys did was clearly wrong. And there needs to be consequences and repercussions for their actions. Hit that like button too. All right, let's go to the next individual. Let's go to the next individual. Tadarius Bean, 24 years old. Bean worked at a fast food restaurant in Mississippi and also worked for AT&T at the time, according to his LinkedIn profile. From 2016 to 2020, Bean studied criminal justice and law enforcement at the University of Mississippi and did an internship with the campus police department, according to his profile. His name on the Ole Miss 2020 commencement list would describe him graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice. Well, obviously, he did not apply what he learned in this situation here. Next individual, Emmett Martin III. He's 30 years old. He was hired by the Memphis Police Department in March 2018 and was described by a former Bethel University classmate as one of the coolest brothers ever. Well, where was this cool, calm, and collective demeanor when he was out there beating and getting involved in this incident and the death of Tyree Nichols? Where was the cool, calm, and collective nature then? Joshua Hopper, who's now a pastor in Missouri, said he followed Martin on social media after they left the Christian college in McKenzie, Tennessee. He said Martin posted a lot about his daughter. Well, he sure as hell didn't think about his daughter on that infamous night. He said the man depicted in court papers is not the person that he know. Well, just because you've been around somebody a long time don't necessarily mean you know them. Just because you told this person your deepest, darkest secrets, just because you've been around the block with this person, up, down, all around town and all that, that don't mean you know that person. Now, he said he was only shocked for a second because he understood that he was a police officer and he knew the best that anything can happen when anyone has power of authority. Well, we know that that element will reveal itself when you give someone a gun and a badge. Because when someone thinks they have power, good people do good things with it, bad people do bad things with it. And also, power corrupts. Power corrupts. You see this all the time with politicians. They can go to DC and be a member of the House of Representatives or be a member of the Senate and have all the intentions of the world to quote unquote change things. But over time, you get involved with the wrong people. Over time, you fail to act and report on the situation that you clearly know that was wrong. Over time, you become one of them. Because if you had enough stones to report misconduct, then you'd be looked at as an op. You'd be looked at as an outcast. You'd be looked at as a snitch. Nobody wants to be around you. Nobody wants to talk to you out of fear of you might go snitch to the supervisor or something like that. So you have this culture of misconduct within the ranks that's not only tolerated but is accepted. This incident is a microcosm of the culture that precedes the Memphis Police Department. And it doesn't just go for the Memphis Police Department. This conduct or misconduct goes around the country. Look at the NYPD, LAPD, the Chicago Police Departments. Those are in the three biggest cities in the United States. And you continuously hear incident after incident after incident of police officers engaging in misconduct. And you really hear that those officers face criminal charges. You really hear that. But if you're black, though, and you get involved in misconduct, stand the fuck by. You're going to get that goddamn book thrown at you. If you don't believe me, ask Muhammad Noor what happened to him when he shot and killed Justine Diamond on that infamous night out in Minneapolis, Minnesota. You think he got any kind of sympathy? No. Muhammad Noor was fired, he was prosecuted, and that man did years in jail before his sentence got commuted. These guys fucked around and they about to find out that the rules that are applied to these white supremacists and the cover and the protection that they get don't apply to U5. U5 don't get to play on that same playing field of those white supremacist cops and think you're going to get off. No, they're gonna fuck you with that long dick of the law. Desmond Mills, 32 years old. He was nicknamed Box when he played football for West Virginia State. Mills was hired by the Memphis Police Department in March of 2017. He listed his hometown as Hartford, Connecticut on the West Virginia State University football team's 2012 roster. He spent his formative years in a suburb north there called Bloomfield. Justin Smith, 28 years old. He was hired by the Memphis Police Department in March 2018. Following his arrest, Smith posted his $250,000 bond and was released from custody on Thursday night. Now, to add more context to that, there was 4 of the 5 individuals have made bond and they are now released from custody. But you five, your nightmare is just beginning. What's up, 3000 Degrees, RG Titan, your suit night? Appreciate y'all for being up in here. Nathan, Tim Kellisippi, appreciate y'all for being up in here. If you are in this building and you ain't come in the chat, I salute you for being up in here too. Tyree Nichols' mom ain't gonna be able to see her son no more because you 5 thought that y'all was above the law. You guys thought that y'all was above reproach. You guys thought that you were immune to prosecution, that we could do whatever the fuck we want to do, however we want to do it, and ain't a goddamn thing nobody can do about it except they did do something about it. And you 5 are not police officers anymore, and you 5 are going to go to jail. Now, for those who may not be aware, second-degree murder in Mississippi and Tennessee carries the minimum years of 15 years, or minimum sentence of 15 years, and the maximum sentence is 60 years in prison for second-degree murder out in Tennessee. So once again, minimum sentence for second-degree murder is 15 years. The maximum sentence is 60 years. They're going to throw that book at y'all. And I wouldn't be surprised because we all know how this system works, right? Because it's supposed to be a trial by your peers. But we don't live in a system of rules and regulations. We live in a system of white supremacy. And I would not be surprised if all 12 of those jurors were white, and they or whatever the case may be. But however this situation plays itself, you guys are going to fucking burn. They're sitting up here talking about, I have a daughter. I'm like, was you thinking about your daughter when you did that bullshit? Clearly you weren't thinking about your daughter then, so don't bring your daughter up now. That ain't gonna police violence, no excuse. We pay your tax dollars. You're supposed to serve and protect us, not play the goddamn role of judge, jury, and executioner. I ain't got no sympathy for you. None. I have absolutely no sympathy for you. And then you get this empty platitude statement from the White House, right, saying that, oh man, we heard what happened, we are appalled and we're disgusted. Get your ass out of here. No one's trying to listen to that empty platitude, because when we were sitting up here talking about defund the police, you guys spat in our faces and said we're going to refund the police. So we don't want to hear no empty platitudes coming from that area. We don't. And then with one of the police officers, the guy on the far left, used to work as a correction officer, when you should know You should know that those inmates don't take too kindly to former police officers. That's right. Inmates don't take too kindly to former police officers. You better hope and pray they transfer y'all somewhere else. But even when you do get transferred somewhere else, are you going to get the same protections? Are you going to end up in PC? Because if you end up in General Pop, your ass is cooked. And I wouldn't be surprised if these guys don't throw y'all asses in General Pop. You don't think word has gotten out? You don't think that these inmates across the country know about you individuals already? Word travels. Word travels. So if you think you're going to get the same protections, you're going to have another thing coming. You guys are going to get fucked with that long dick of the law. I promise you that. And when that long dick of the law busting out all over y'all faces and all that, you only got yourselves to blame because y'all run around here acting like y'all was above the law. You're running around here fostering this culture that you guys can do whatever the fuck y'all want because you got a gun and a badge. This man's pleading for his mama, for crying out loud. Y'all beat this man. Y'all took pepper spray. Y'all sprayed him in the face. This man did not do anything that justified y'all doing that bullshit. This man here is pleading for his mama, for crying out loud. That's the thing that really got under my skin. This man was crying and pleading for his mama because you dirty, rotten motherfuckers could not keep yourselves in check. And I wouldn't be surprised because clearly there's protests going on out in Memphis right now. There have to be protests going on. And I wouldn't be surprised if they call to disband that police department. There's going to be calls to disband that police department because you continue to have these incidents with these corrupt cops who's supposed to be serving and protecting the people that they are in charge of serving and protecting, and instead they are here killing them. Our tax dollars are paying y'all goddamn salary, and y'all sitting up here killing these folks. Clearly, there is a culture that needs to be destroyed and rebuilt. This man has a family that is never going to see him again. No thanks to you jackasses. You now there's other people that is currently being investigated. Two men that worked at the fire department, they're on administrative leave, and that Memphis police chief, she is going to be under the gun. I won't be surprised if there's calls for her resignation. Because the fish rots from the head down. The fish rots from the head down. Clearly unacceptable behavior by these guys. I have absolutely no love lost for you. You deserve this because you guys did not use your training. You guys did not apply what you learned in police academy to this situation. This man did not do anything that justified pulling him out of the car and y'all beating him, punching him, kicking him, spraying him with pepper spray. That man didn't deserve that shit. That man was sitting up there fighting for his life in the hospital. He ended up dying 3 days later, and you clown ass motherfuckers talk about, oh man, I didn't think he deserved to die. We didn't intend for him to die. And he didn't intend for y'all to be beating on him neither. Y'all know what deadly force is. You guys know what deadly force is. You guys went through training. You guys signed paperwork. People out there saying that you're competent and confident in your ability to carry out the department's mission. And I wouldn't be surprised if that buffoon, that coon-ass idiot Brandon Tatum defending this shit. Yeah, because I'm waiting on that. I'm waiting on that coon-ass motherfucker to start running his mouth about what these officers did and how it was justified. I'm waiting on that shit because that fucking train's never late. And the minute that coon-ass Sambo, that spit shoe shining Brandon Tatum started running his fucking mouth, I'm gonna be all over him like mole on the shower curtain. You can best believe that. I better not hear that motherfucker start running his mouth talking this bullshit about, oh, well, what the police officers did was justified. You gotta understand this is a difficult job. Suck my boy. Because I know he's gonna do that shit. I know that motherfucking buffoon Brandon Tatum is gonna start running his goddamn mouth talking bullshit. I mean that shit. Brandon Tatum, you listen to this video, you listen to the sound of my voice. You better not make no stupid ass video talking about this shit was justified. Cause I'm gonna be on your ass, motherfucker. What's up, Daryl? Daryl, Eiffel. Appreciate you for being up in here. These dudes gonna burn for this. They're gonna burn for this. They're gonna be used as the proverbial guinea pigs, and what will happen to these police officers? That's right. You guys, the Memphis 5, yeah. You guys get ready. Because the rapture for y'all is coming. Get ready. And that's all I gotta say about that. I appreciate everyone for watching, listening to the video, hitting that like button, sharing these videos, and supporting the channel. Look, I don't take kindly in doing this, right? But at the end of the day, we can't sit up here and call out white supremacists, and if we don't get our own shit together, if we don't get our own house in order, then how in the hell we can sit up here and try to call ourselves going up against these white supremacists here? What's up, Chris Jones? Yeah, anyone that's involved in this situation, they all need to face the same fate. It should be nobody that comes out of this thing unscathed. Nobody. If you had a hand in this situation, your ass need to fucking burn. I mean that shit. I don't want nobody getting my words misconstrued. If you are one of those individuals that is not on this thumbnail and you're involved in the murder of Tyree Nichols, your ass need to fucking burn. I mean that shit. I mean that shit because that's the only way we can get this shit right. Everybody. And it need to be a thorough review of the policies and the procedures. And on top of that, what I also propose is that these cops, every so often, probably like every year or so, need to go through an annual psyche review. They need that. And it needs to be a threshold when they first get hired. There needs to be a baseline of their cognitive state. And then every so often, probably like every year or so, when they're doing their annual review, they need to review their cognitive state. Because if there's any kind of regression there, if there's any kind of thing to where it trips off a warning sign, then that person or those individuals need some kind of break or remediary skills so that way they're not out here putting a gun to people's faces out in public while they're out here shopping at the goddamn store. You guys got batons, you guys got pepper spray or oleoresin capsaicin, and you guys got a gun. Y'all know the ramifications when you use those items. And there need to be a reasonable expectation for you to use those items, whether it be the oleoresin capsaicin or the pepper spray, the taser, or the nightstick, or your gun. We get taught about the deadly force triangle, opportunity, capability, and intent. If you got one of those things that's not in play, then you're not supposed to be using no kind of lethal force. And only when that deadly force triangle is met of opportunity, capability, and intent, that if you use whatever weapon you're using, you better be able to justify it, because if you don't, your ass is going to fucking burn. And that's why I'm at on that. Non-subscribe to this channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. Shouts out to the LDBC. This your man. Scream at me. Ho!